I have been pretty crazy busy lately, but I didn't want to miss my daily video. So today we're going to be talking about a few smaller, well, they might be bigger to some people stories, but I didn't have a lot of commentary to add. So I thought we'd just take a look and talk about a few of the things that I've seen related to Xbox or, you know, that Street Fighter 6 reveal. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when they go live. I do appreciate every one of you who does so. So I think the biggest news over the last few days was definitely the Street Fighter reveal. Street Fighter 6 was revealed. If you haven't been following what's been going on Twitter, and basically the trailer shows off a beefcake of a Ryu and a character who I don't know from the Street Fighter series. Maybe you can enlighten me as to who that is in the comments below. But I think Alana tweeted like something like, get a guy who looks like he ate a bus. And yeah, they certainly look beefy, don't they? He is jacked. His hand looks like the size of my face. And this guy has some sort of flexing mechanic. My reaction to it was just like, okay, it's a CG trailer. I don't really know what else to say about it. So I'm like, yeah, Street Fighter 6 was announced. They built up to everything, and it's cool looking. I'm excited, but I also don't really know what to say about it. I'm like, okay, Ryu looks jacked. There's a character I don't recognize who's probably some, you know, niche character who was introduced in Street Fighter lore or something like that. Maybe the commenters actually say who it is. Yeah. No idea. More Street Fighter 6 news coming summer 2022, they tweeted. And we don't know if it's PlayStation exclusive. The previous one was PlayStation exclusive, but as far as I know, there's been no confirmation about whether or not 6 is going to be PlayStation exclusive again or not. I would actually assume that it's going to be. Anyway, smaller news about Xbox. A developer tweeted that the keep and quick resume feature is getting sort of a buff. Basically, you're going to be able to keep multiple titles in your quick resume. This story is a few days old, but I thought I would discuss it. Some screens of the keep and quick resume feature going out to alpha Xbox insiders at 2 p.m. today. So some people are already experiencing this. This was on February 11th. So man, I am way behind. Figure I just bring it up. Yeah, you can choose which 2 games to keep in quick resume if you're trying to be snazzy there. What does she say about it here? Up to 2 games can be pinned, so they won't be lost unless the game updates or you remove it. If you try and add a 3rd game, you'll be prompted to choose which game to remove. So no matter what, you can keep 2 games in your quick resume queue. Now, the biggest story is a revisiting of the Activision Blizzard thing from Phil Spencer. And I did this one last because honestly, I don't really know what to say about it yet. So I might make a whole separate video about this one, but I thought it was worth mentioning because The Verge has obtained details. Oh my goodness. Stop ads. I got to get ad blocker. Read exactly how Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal for Activision Blizzard came together. And this is from The Verge. And they talked about how the initial conversation about an acquisition happened between Spencer and Kotick on November 19th, just 3 days after the Wall Street Journal's report about the Activision Blizzard CEO, and a single day after Spencer told Xbox staff he was deeply troubled. It might have even come up as part of the same conversation. So that was 3 days after the report. And 1 day after Phil Spencer said he was deeply troubled by the news coming out, as we all were. So here's the thing about this timing. It doesn't look great, right? And I'm not sure what happened here. Like, had this been booked for a while, it's not like you book a lunch with Bobby Kotick 3 days before it happens. So I have to imagine this was planned. And the Satya Nadella stuff was planned. And then, yeah, I'm speculating. I'm absolutely speculating, but the optics of it don't look great. It looks like there was this big scandal. And then, you know, Microsoft jumped in and tried to get a good deal sort of on Activision Blizzard. But I have to imagine that this conversation was on the books already. But anyway, let's continue reading the Verge report here. So they say Activision Blizzard and Microsoft and asked, okay, in the course of a conversation on a different topic between Mr. Spencer and Mr. Kotick, Mr. Spencer raised that Microsoft was interested in discussing strategic opportunities between Activision Blizzard and Microsoft and asked whether it would be possible to have a call with Mr. Nadella the following day, the document reads. The next day, a Saturday, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella was apparently more explicit, indicating that Microsoft was interested in exploring a strategic combination with Activision Blizzard. So I wonder if after talking with Bobby Kotick, Bobby was like, I want to sell the company, because there's also another note in here that Bobby Kotick was already floating around to other businesses. So it does continue to bring in question the timeline of all these events, right? So that kicked off nearly 2 months of conversations between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard into what would become the acquisition announced on January 18th. And you can read the whole blow by blow. They have the whole court document. And then here's the part that I wasn't able to highlight for whatever reason. But one thing I found interesting was that Activision Blizzard was in touch with 4 other companies and 1 individual about some sort of deal in addition to Microsoft. Disappointingly, they are only named as companies A, C, D, and E. Why not B? I don't know. That's weird. And the individual is named as individual B. So we don't know who else could have ended up owning Call of Duty. None of those deals went through for various reasons. Company E, for example, said it couldn't do a full acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and Microsoft was rapidly and aggressively pursuing the deal, getting the terms together before some other companies had even entered the picture. So it sounds like Microsoft really wanted the deal to happen. They saw an opportunity to get Activision Blizzard, and they wanted it as part of their repertoire, or their library, I guess would be a better way to put it. And then Verge continues, Activision Blizzard's SEC filing also includes the terms of the merger agreement, which shows that Microsoft would be on the hook if the merger gets blocked by government regulators. It would pay Activision Blizzard a termination fee ranging from $2 billion to $3 billion if the acquisition is axed due to an injunction arising from antitrust laws, explaining why Microsoft really, really wants this deal to go through. If Activision Blizzard shareholders do not vote to approve the merger, though, it might have to pay Microsoft a termination fee of $2.27 billion. So somebody's going to end up paying somebody eventually. Well, it's unusual for mergers like these to get actively blocked. We do have a recent example. NVIDIA's $40 billion deal to acquire ARM from SoftBank fell apart due to regulatory challenges. The FTC, which sued to block NVIDIA's purchase of ARM, specifically noted in a statement this week that the failed merger represents the first abandonment of a litigated vertical merger in many years. Now, when I did the video talking with Hoeg Law, a big reason that particular deal fell apart was because basically you can put those chips into missiles, and then when you start talking about military things, the government is going to be like, no, like you're not allowed to do that, and it makes sense, honestly. So yeah, the final note was about, unfortunately, Bobby Kotick's compensation for this. With 4.3 million shares in Activision Blizzard, he stands to gain $410 million based on the $95 per share that Microsoft plans to pay. And he has an additional golden parachute worth $14 million plus $14.5 million if he decides to stay, and Microsoft then pushes him out anyway. That doesn't count his 2.2 million stock options either, which would be worth hundreds of millions of additional dollars depending on how much they cost to exercise. So Bobby Kotick, he certainly does have a golden parachute, and it's kind of weird when he had built this empire that is rife with, I don't know how to put it, accusations, paper document shredding, just bad stuff through and through. Anyway, yeah, so I don't really know how to feel about that. Do you think that Microsoft saw this as an opportunity to jump on a, how do I put it, a tense moment in Activision's history, and buy the company? Or do you think this was already planned and in the works? I have to imagine somebody like Phil Spencer, he's pretty direct. So I have to imagine that this is in the works. I don't think the reevaluation comments that he made were not genuine. That isn't something that you just make because you can, you know. A lot of thought went into that. So yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I haven't like digested it. I don't really know what to say about it, but it is something that happened and it doesn't look good. So let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Sorry for the like not as exciting closer. I haven't really thought about everything. All I can do is speculate. So to recap though, I have to imagine that the conversation was already on the books. The news broke like right before he met with Bobby Kotick. So he meets with Bobby Kotick, and Bobby Kotick probably knew this was coming. And he's like, hey, I want to sell the company, because he's shopping it around to 4 different companies. So Microsoft was aware of this. Satya Nadella had an offer ready, and they pursued the deal immediately. It seems like things were on a very tight timeline, and you know, the legal troubles that Activision Blizzard has been in certainly compound the situation. Not a fun story to talk about. Almost didn't want to make the video, but anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these sort of videos, even though they're sort of a bummer, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the members who support this channel. I do appreciate you. If you want to join the membership club, you can click that join button right down there. I'm going to get out of here. I got a lot to do today, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.